Hello everyone, my name is Nico Hagenson if you didn't already know, and if you did, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am doing a full face of vintage makeup, also using some vintage makeup techniques. This just came to me. I got some vintage makeup from a friend of mine, and I was like, oh my gosh, let me do a full face of vintage makeup. Now, not everything here is actually like 50 years old, but the products have been around for that long, so we're using some like tried and true vintage makeup brands like Kryolan, William Tuttle, all of like the industry secrets. But if you enjoy vintage makeup, cool makeup, editorial makeup, tutorials, recommendations, brutal honesty, make sure to subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends, but most of all, leave a comment. I would love to know what you guys think of this, any ideas for future videos, but most of all, thank you for all of your support. So with that, if you don't have any questions, leave them below, but let's get into the video. We're recording. I have not recorded a video in a hot second, and I kind of forget what to do. We are doing a full face of vintage makeup, so I'm gonna try and make sure everything is like actually vintage, but some things like didn't really exist that I would use. So first I'm gonna go in with MAC Strobe Cream. This is obviously the new version of it, but Strobe Cream has been around for about like 25 years at this point. I think it was created in around 2000. This is the UV light version, so it kind of has like this violet shift to it. And I'm just going to use this to hydrate my skin because we will be using a lot of powder. I'm not necessarily doing vintage techniques as well, but most of my techniques are vintage, so I guess I will be. Also, my hair, I'm getting my hair done in a couple of hours, and I cannot wait. I need to just like get my hair done right now. Everything is just a mess with me right now. And then for color corrector, I'm gonna go in with this palette from Manhattan Wardrobe Supply here in New York. This is kind of like a grease paint palette. It's produced by MAQ, which is called MAC Pro for Maquillage Professionnel. This formula is like a very traditional like grease paint, thick paint formula, which is great for like underpainting and things like that. And this type of formula has been around since literally the 1920s. I don't know how long this specific formula has been around for, but I thought instead of using my Huda Beauty one like I normally do, this would be a great option. So I'm just gonna put that onto the back of my hand. And with these, you really do have to warm them up. So I'll just kind of warm it up on the back of my hand and just really go in across the mustache. Lately though, I've been watching so much of Alfred Hitchcock Presents, the TV show from like, I believe 1950s. Yeah. I mean, I love Alfred Hitchcock's movies, obviously. I mean, how could you not? And watching this though, like every night, it's like an anthology series, so right before I go to bed, I'll watch it. Oh my god, it is so good. I recommend it to anybody who likes like old Hollywood glamour, mystery, all that. I mean, it's just like a good show. It makes me realize like TV shows nowadays are like kind of trash. Sorry, not sorry. There aren't very many I like watch consistently. Now for powder to set this, I'm gonna go with my William Tuttle face powder. William Tuttle has been around for, I believe, the brand since the 1960s. So we are gonna be going in with this. Again, this is not necessarily all true vintage products because I don't have that many vintage makeup things. I do actually have two blushes that I'll be using today that are vintage, so I am excited for that. And vintage is technically 20 years or older, so I'm just kind of going by that metric. But I know people always love to argue about that, but leave that out of my comment sections. Unless y'all want to argue enough to like get my views up, hey, you can argue then. So we kind of have my base done. I do want to put a little bit of Studio Fix powder around my nose because it helps with like patching and all that. Studio Fix was made I think 1995, 1990s, and this is the original. This is not the new formulation, which I'm still upset about. The original is by far superior. And I'm just taking that in my T-zone wherever I get oily, and this also just helps to kind of smooth out my skin. Okay, we're primed. I'm ready for foundation. For foundation, I'm going to use a mixture of my William Tuttle color foundation in the shade Elvira, and then TV White Paint Stick by Kryolan. Both of these have been around for like both of these have been around since about the 1950s to 1960s. Kryolan was founded in the 40s, I believe, so I don't know exactly when TV Paint Stick was made. I couldn't find it on the internet, but William Tuttle's foundation was made in 1967. I'm going to start in with this as my actual like foundation. I have been obsessed with this. If you want to see like a full review on it, I have one on my TikTok, but girl, it is so good. What I'll do is I'll just kind of go in here and just watch this. I'm just like schlacking on a new face. I also love the finish is still very like satin natural skin. Obviously with the amount of coverage it's not natural, but when I prep properly and I set it properly, I get such a natural finish out of it. And ooh, is that like a new pore that just opened on my face? Damn. It just gives me coverage. It looks stunning, but I'll just start by painting it on like this, getting it super full coverage. And I'm not worrying about it looking streaky because brushes do make your foundation look streaky sometimes, especially this type of brush. I'm just painting it on, getting a nice thick layer of it. I don't really care about making it look even on the skin. I just wanna get it all on. We are literally just painting it all over the face. But you can see it still looks like pretty natural. Oh my god, my white balance is going crazy. I need to figure out this camera. Also, sorry about not being here last week, y'all. I was working the makeup show with Mob Beauty and I just did not prep properly. I should have been responsible and pre-recorded a video, but you know what? I'm sure you guys were okay. Hopefully one of your other favorite beauty channels posted some videos. But yeah, who else are you guys following? I am obsessed with like, who do I follow? Like obviously Erin Parsons, anybody who makes like vintage makeup content, but also I watch a lot of like nature channels. I love watching film YouTube, film critiques. Like, I mean, I'm obviously a big fan of David Lynch. So I was literally right before this, I was watching a kind of history of the making of Blue Velvet, which maybe I'll have to do. I've done a Blue Velvet look on my TikTok. Maybe I'll have to do one here. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like what YouTube likes. Like you guys who follow me consistently love my tutorials, but my tutorials don't really do very well on YouTube. I feel like people are just like, I don't know. I love tutorials, but I feel like tutorials only do well if it's for like natural makeup. And obviously I don't do natural makeup. Let me lift the bang, girl. Get this foundation evenly spread. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of that. I also just paid for the YouTube Premium because I was so sick of the ads and I'm mad that they got to me. I feel like I should get it for free because I post on YouTube so much. And by so much, I mean once a week. But like seriously, they should give me like a discount. I don't know, or like take it from my ad revenue, seriously. I hate paying for subscriptions, but I was so sick of all the ads. Okay, it's like we're pretty well blended. I'm now gonna take TV White by Kryolan, and this is gonna go in the center of my face to highlight. And then for contour, let's do some Kryolan, what shade is this? FS31. I'm gonna do a little bit of this to contour right underneath. Also, if you hear stuff going on outside, it's Sunday right now. Also, it's Mother's Day. So like there's mad people at church. And I'm trying to be positive and like not mean, but dear Lord, I'm like, can y'all go home? Or like be quiet. Oh Lord, that just like summoned everybody. I sound like such a witch, like seriously, I promise. I'm not actually mean to anybody in person. It's just what I think in my head. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and blend out TV White. This is not necessarily my favorite concealer to use. It is very full coverage, but it is heavy and it tends to crease on my under eyes. Bro, I'm really cracked. Like, do y'all really have to be honking the horn like that? Okay, putting this on, I have since learned this is not an actual contour shade for me, so I'm gonna mix some of the Elvira foundation, the William Tuttle one, and just go over it to lighten, because girl, this is looking like an orange streak on my face, and I'm not having it. So I'm just gonna go back in with a sponge as well. I guess we're gonna be a little bit tan today. Not my favorite thing to be, but I shall live. Like, this looks a little bit more natural, and once I powder, it should be okay. But no, this is by all means not my shade. I just wanted to go in with something that was not like my Rituel de Fille contour, because that is my absolute favorite right now. And it is kind of like that old cream type of product, but it isn't necessarily a vintage product, so I'm not going to use it. I actually have another one of these palettes from MAC Pro, and there is a contour shade in here, so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna take a little bit of that, again, on the back of my hand. And these are available at Manhattan Wardrobe Supply. I think their website is just wardrobesupply.com. I go there all the time. I absolutely love their products, or like the stock that they have there. I'm just gonna take this and go underneath my cheekbones, just like that. And then I'm gonna take a, where's that brush? Oh, I'm gonna take this brush from MAC. This is the M109S brush. And I feel like while I'm doing this, let's talk about, what is it? What did I just work? The makeup show, oh my gosh. I was there with Mom, I was there both days. One time, the first day, I just went like by myself, like for fun, to shop. I bought a ton of stuff. I met so many of you guys. I met so many brands that I love. And then I was obviously around with Mom Beauty because hello. And I got to see their new product that they're launching. It should be launching very soon. I don't want to say anything, but go to their Instagram for updates. And then I was complaining to Alicia. Alicia's one of the founders. Her and Vic are the founders. I was like, oh my god, like I need money. I'm thinking about getting a job, blah, 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 like a part-time job. And she was like, well, are you free tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, I am. She's like, do you want to work our booth? And I was like, hello, I will be there. She was like, you can work from 12 to 5 or like 9 to 5, whatever works. I said, I will be there 9 to 5. I need that money. So I ended up working there, and I got to sell to a lot of you guys, and so many people bought my latex shade and the white, which was just so affirming because they are kind of weirder shades, so I don't always expect people to like get it. It was actually funny. There were some people in line and they did not get it, and they were just like calling the shade weird, and I told, like, before they called it weird, they were like, I told them, I was like, oh, this is my shade, like I made it, and then they just kept referring it to as the weird shade, which it is a weird shade, but I was just like giggling. That's like, they were straight up just being like, mm-mm. Now I'm trying to figure out what I want to use for my eyes for the underpainting. This is where I'm like, what is technically a vintage product? I think for my eyebrows, I'm going to use the Kryolan contour pencil. This has been around for probably a long time. I really don't know. But I know this is one of their oldest pencil formulas, so I'm sure this has probably been around for 20 years. Okay, let me sharpen it. And let's just go in and do eyebrows. If you guys want a separate eyebrow video, maybe I think I have one on TikTok. Maybe I'll do a YouTube video, but I don't know. And I'm just gonna match it up to the inner corner and start sketching a brow on. Okay, the brows are pretty even. I'm now just gonna go back in with TV White from, actually no, I'm gonna go in with the William Tuttle foundation. Where is it? I'm gonna go in with that and use it to clean up around my eyebrows. I'm gonna take it on this Danessa Merrick's brush. And just like that, my foundation is cleaned up. Not my foundation, my eyebrows. God, skinny eyebrows truly are not for the weak. It is so annoying to do my eyebrows. I just burped. I hope you guys didn't hear that. I'm sorry. At least you can't smell through the screen. I want to do like also vintage style underpainting, but I don't know what I want to use for my cream eyeshadow yet. I'm like, what do I have? I actually will go in with MAC Fix Plus really quick, just to spray. MAC Fix Plus has been around for a while now. I'm gonna just fan really quick. When was MAC Paint Pot launched? Oh, this was launched in 1984. Okay, we're using that. I'm using the shade Taylor Gray. This is the shade that Gabriette made super popular. I'm trying to figure out what type of brush I want to use. What is on this brush? There is blue on this brush. What color's on this? This one won't work. Okay. Taking Taylor Gray. I am a bit hesitant about using this because it does dry down and I will be powdering my face after, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So I'm just gonna go in with this top and bottom to create a bit of a shadow. Just gonna go in with a dense fluffy brush and blend out the edges. I'm sorry if I'm blocking the camera. I'm gonna be using my William Tuttle powder foundation, the extra fine translucent face powder. Did I just say foundation? No, I'm using the powder. I'm just gonna take it on a puff like this, and starting from center of my face up, we are gonna set the hell out of my face, because when you use this many creams, you really, especially when you're oily like me, you need to set them. And I'll tilt my eyes back and just go over everything, eyebrows included. We're going over the entire face. So other eye, tilt back, try and prevent any creasing, and then powder. I go into the areas that crease the fastest, and then I'll go around the rest of my face, getting the nose, the cheeks, and then I'll also use this as a like blending tool. As you can see, like my contour is more defined, not defined, blended. And then I'm gonna go in with a brush just to dust off any excess. I'm gonna go back in with powder, again the Studio Fix by MAC, just on the areas that need more coverage. And now we're kind of back at a blank canvas, which I love. I'm gonna actually brush out any of the powder that's in my hair. And then MAC Paint Pot, she's done. Let's go in with blush. I want to go in with this Pond's Cheek Blush. I did a video on this on my TikTok, and you guys enjoyed like this vintage makeup. I got it from Lila's boutique in New York. One of the owners, actually, I did her makeup, and she gave this to me, and I was very, very grateful. So thank you again, Sarah, if you're watching. I'm gonna take a just like fluffy brush like this, dip in. It's this really beautiful bright pink shade. It is loose in there, so I want to be careful. And let's just go on to the cheek and start to give myself some life again. I had got a second color from a different like vintage brand. I think it's from Heather Rouge, and it actually did stay in my cheek. It was so pigmented. So here is that shade. I miss when makeup was like, again, I say miss as if I lived through it. I wish makeup was still so pigmented and came in beautiful packaging. Now everything is so like diffused and pretty and light. Also, I think my camera's about to die. I need to like go plug it in. I'm like nervous. I'm gonna be pissed if it dies on me. Yeah, the power is out. I'm gonna finish up this blush, and then I'm gonna like plug her back in. So this is what the blush is giving. It actually was way more than I thought it was gonna give, but that's fine. I'll take my powder puff and just diffuse, make sure it's all blended. Okay, I'm gonna cut, let you guys charge, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. In between this, I decided to do an outfit change, and I actually grew a little bit of brush tissue. Thank you very much. I put on this, wait, let me back up the camera. Let me have some fun with y'all. I got this. This is actually a Betsy Johnson tweed jacket, and then I got this Agent Provocateur bra, hard underwire bra, and then I put in these like breast inserts, and I'm like, they're double A's, or I think it's an A. I don't know, they're like too big for me. I could never have boobs this big, but that's my HRT. Well, I got a breath from doing that. I'm not actually on hormones yet, but maybe one day, hopefully one day. Anyways, back to it. So last I left off, I'm actually gonna take this jacket off. This is doing too much. I just wanted to put it on. I just redid my closet for summer because I'm not wearing half of the things I used to. We just finished off with blush. It's looking quite nice, and I think let's move on to eyes. And for eyes, I already know what I'm gonna use. I'm using my Viseart palette. The Viseart has been around since 2000, and I know their eyeshadows are pretty old, so I'm hoping it was actually vintage. If not, I could have used my MAC eyeshadows, but I just didn't want to use the same thing I just did. So first, I'm gonna go in with their white shade, or like their cream, and I'm gonna put that right underneath my brow bone, like that, just to highlight. And then same on the other side. Okay. And then I'm gonna go in with this new Hakuhodo brush I bought at the makeup show. Did I finish talking about the makeup show? I don't remember. And take a light taupey shade, and we're just gonna build up this smoky eye. Or not, I don't know if this is technically a smoky eye. I'm just kind of doing a basic eye I do a lot. But I think it'd be cute for this occasion. So I am getting my hair done after this, like I said earlier, and I don't want to do too much. And I like to take it a lot on the bottom of my eyes. I don't know. It, like, for me, it gives the illusion of bigger eyes. And then let's go in with a darker taupey brown shade. And I'm just going to build up a wing. I've been doing wings a lot lately, and I never really do wings, so this is a fun development for me, and hopefully for you guys as well. Wait, what time is it? It's 1 o'clock. I have to leave in like, how long? I have to leave in like 30 minutes. Okay, I need to hurry up. So I'm gonna do my eyeshadow like that. I think this is rather pretty. Okay, how do you girls do your makeup with boobs? Like, I'm like going across here and I'm like hitting my boob. I don't know. I feel good. I think I would want smaller boobs though. I could not handle big boobs. I'm tall, but I'm like pretty skinny, so I feel like I would look weird. I also don't have much of a bum, so I would look a bit like misproportionate, improportionate, disproportionate, whatever the word for not in proper proportions. Also, I'm like, do I want to go darker on the brow? I don't know yet. Let's take some more of the taupe shade and just put it on the lid, the lighter taupe shade, because I don't really like having a dark lid like this. And then what else do I want to do? I think Inglot has also been around for a while. I want to do like a tiny winged liner, so I'm taking this, just the classic Inglot AMC gel liner in the shade of 77, and I'm gonna sketch out a black winged liner. This is gonna take a second, so I don't know if I'm really gonna do this on camera, but I'm just gonna take it on the fleshy part of my thumb here. And what I like to do is, I like kind of a straight wing. So I'll just, you can't really see. Just kind of go straight out, like that. And I'm gonna try and match it up on this side too. This side I tend to lift more than the other one I found. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm so bad at doing an even wing. I've been like sitting here playing, so I'm just gonna say F it. I want to keep my eye pretty sleepy, so I'm not gonna do an inner corner wing. I just want to kind of bolden this side a little bit more. I feel like probably the best we're gonna get. My eyes are uneven, I have come to realize, so if my eyes are telling me it's gonna be uneven, I'm gonna listen to my eyes because I'm not sitting here trying to change my biology. Okay, that's done. I wanna go back in to the brush I was using before though and take like a deep brown shade like this And I just want to kind of punch that in. Like that. I like a pretty sleepy type of eye. And I feel like by putting it so far back to the liner, it opens, like, broadens my eyes. I don't know what's the right word for that, but I feel like it makes my eyes look bigger. Like farther apart. And then I'm just gonna go back and forth between brushes to blend. This is like a modern vintage type of look. Like, I don't really think there's like smoky eyes looks like this, but I'm just doing what looks good on my eyes and adapting it. It's also not that big of a deal. Just do your makeup however you want. Because not all vintage techniques work for me. So I kind of just go back and forth with what does work for me. I'm also going to go into some black eyeshadow. And then just go on top of the Inglot liner to smoke it out a bit. I don't like a really harsh winged liner. So just gonna go in like that. And then I'm gonna take some more of the white shadow and put that on the lid. I want the lid to be really like open. So I'm just gonna take some sheer cream color and just put it all across the lid. I need to figure out what a good white pencil would be. I don't really have one that I think would work. I mean, I could use like a white cream, but that's just not gonna last. You know what? Maybe I will try that. Do I have a good white cream for that? Or maybe Makeup Forever has been around for a while. I'm gonna use one of their artist color pencils. This is the shade All Around White, and I'm just gonna put that in my waterline. This is what Marlene Dietrich would do. I mean, so many people did this, but I really want to open up my eyes. But normally I would go in with like a cream color rather than a white, because a white is very stark. But hey, who cares? Oh my god, this pencil is so dried out. It's like hurting my eyes. But I'm gonna blend some darker shadow underneath it. That's also gonna help the white to look brighter. What time is it? Do I still have time? Yeah, I do. How are we looking? I kind of want to make my brows a little bit darker. My brows are looking quite light and I like a dark brow. So I'm just going to go in on top really quick. Wow, one brow is a lot thicker than the other. So I'm like, do I thicken? I think I'm just, no, I don't want to thicken the other one. I'm actually just going to go back in with that white pencil and draw underneath it. Try and make it a little bit skinnier. I'm just gonna go ahead and curl my lashes and put on mascara. I don't really think there is like a vintage way of doing this. I mean, I could use like the spit, what do they call it? The spit dish or whatever, the spit cake, and do my lashes that way, but literally there's no way my lashes could hold that. I need like a waterproof mascara. So I'm just gonna use whatever one I can find. That's one thing I always think about though. It's like, I don't know what I would do about my lashes if I was like living in the 20s, because those type of mascaras would do absolutely nothing for my eyes. Also, those brushes, like my lashes would look a mess, and I'm awful with false lashes, so I have absolutely no idea what I would look like. I really do. I don't know if I was born then how I would look. I mean, obviously that is if I was born a woman during that time. There's probably no way I would be transitioning in 1920s. So for that, I am grateful to be alive today, even though it's not the easiest time to be doing so. Okay, that's done. Let's put on some mascara. Okay, mascara is on. I want to also brighten my face a little bit. So I'm gonna take MAC Shivering White Powder. I don't know necessarily how long it's been around for, probably a decent amount of time, but I know a lot of stars like in old Hollywood would use a white powder to brighten their face. So I'm gonna take some of that in the center here, just with a brush. A little bit down the nose. More of the face. It's their way of like doing a matte highlight. Because I mean, it's hard to get shimmer to show up on camera, especially like a finer shimmer. So doing something like this is very helpful. I'm also gonna take a little bit more just to highlight. For lips, I'm like going back and forth. Do I want to do a glossy red? Do I want to do just like a nude? I feel like this is a very tame look for me. I should do something a bit more eccentric for the lips. I'm just trying to think if I have any more like iconic. Ooh, I have Benetton. I could do like a little Benetton moment. That was for like the dancers back a while ago. I think maybe 80s. I don't know how far back the Benetton goes. I don't know how old Benefit even is. But I don't know if I necessarily want to do that. I have this Pro Longwear pink color from MAC. This is definitely, I think this is a vintage one. It's like this really pale pink, but then again, like that's kind of boring. I think I want to do a red. I know Cherry Lip Pencil from MAC has been around for a long time, so we can use that. And then for a red lip, I'm trying to see like the oldest red lip I have. It might have to be MAC Ruby Woo. Obviously, it's not the original formula. Like, it's not actually one from 20 so years ago, but I want to use it. So let's do cherry lip liners on the lips, and I'm gonna do, like, what type of lip? Let's do a wide mouth today. I'm gonna do like kind of a Joan Crawford type of lip. And then we have Ruby Woo, but this is in the Maximal Matte Lipstick formula from MAC. And I'm just gonna go straight in. This is such an iconic red color. I mean, if you think red lip, you think Ruby Woo. But the first lipstick I ever bought was MAC Russian Red, which was developed for Madonna during her Blonde Ambition tour. This is such a stunning red color. It wasn't really setting spray back then, so I'm not necessarily gonna worry about that. I do kind of want to add some red gloss. So I'm gonna take MAC Lip, actually let's do MAC Lip Glass, the classic one. Instead of the Ruby Woo, I feel like lip glass is an icon. So I'm just gonna take lip glass. I think I said lip balm on here. I'm like, there is no way in hell this is a lip balm. What brush? I'll just use this. All right, we're taking clear lip gloss, and guys, this is a classic for a reason. That's Shine. It's been used for sweat, for a glossy lid, a glossy lip, adding just shine anywhere. And this is a very like Marilyn type of product. She would use Vaseline to gloss her eyes and lips. Oh, so stunning. Oh, I'm like really sick of it, guys. Like, I'm not doing well. Like, I do not want to be anywhere near men. I would love a nice man who would respect me. But it seems that doesn't happen anywhere, at least in America. But I have myself and I have glamour to keep me sane. So I'm like trying to think what else I can put on top. Let's do a beauty mark. I should do it with a brow pencil, actually, because that's how Marilyn would have done it. I'm going to take the eyebrow pencil I was using, and I always have this one little mole right here. I'm going to do what she did. I'm just going to take and dot. There we go. I like really using a liner, but this will do. Okay, now this is the final look. My 19 vintage makeup tutorial / only using vintage makeup, and I love how this looks. I love doing looks like these. It makes me feel so confident. This is like my kind of day-to-day makeup. By now I have adapted so many of these techniques into my everyday life. The products are amazing and I feel stunning, which is really all that matters, is however you feel in your makeup. So if you enjoyed this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what other type of videos you guys would like me to do. Sorry if I was kind of low energy in this video. I just feel like my brain's not in the right place, but I had so much fun doing this look, and just thank you guys so much for all of your support. It truly means a lot to me, and for anybody who came up to me at the makeup show, thank you so much. But with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.